did mind something.
Yeah.
Mega Mind 2. Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
Hey guys, happy Pride Month.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that. And it's not a happy Pride Month, James.
No, it's not, because I'm going to touch you.
No, because because James, we had a plan. Okay.
We had several.
It was a promise, right?
It was a lot of rake stepping.
It was a lot of things. But happening, that wasn't what happened.
No.
So anyway, I should explain what's going to happen with the crapshoot from now on.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing serious or nothing terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it might be a little bit irregular.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little bit late.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been a little busy. And by a little busy, I mean I'm working 2 jobs. I've got 2 jobs, and I'm working from 9 to like 10. 9 to 9, basically.
5.
So about 12 hours. I am working a 9 to 5. That's my main job. And then my second job, I go to after my 9 to 5. It starts at 6:30, and it's supposed to go until 2:30, but I usually early out, so I don't work that long, and I could have some time to sleep. So I'm usually out by like 10-ish, 9 to 10. Sometimes a little bit earlier if I'm lucky.
Are you feeling lucky?
I've told you about this before, right, James? I'm a dealer.
Yeah,
It's been pretty solid.
Dealer
solid.
Of drugs.
By solid, I mean solid cash. Cold, hard cash.
Solid, cold, hard cash. You know, the way money's supposed to come.
I've been working double shifts, and I'm scheduled for next week. By next week, I mean the next 8 days straight. So, forgive me if I don't have enough time to do a lot of these things, and I certainly won't have time to figure out any topics for the crapshoot.
No need to worry. I've got this.
Well, James, can you first make the first topic non-political? Can you do that, James?
Yeah, I can do that.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
And secondly, not about anime. How about that one? Can you do that one?
Easy. So are you ready to hear what I have?
So, Attack on Titan
No, JD, Attack on Titan's over. Why would I talk about that? You ready to hear what I got?
So anyway, I'm going to be busy a lot. That's just my little heads up. I can do it before 7 or after, or if I'm lucky enough to get off before 9. Or get home before 9. So James, what do you got for me?
So we're going to talk about Israel invading Rafah.
Right now?
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to talk about the newest dungeon, Meshi.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, delicious and dungeon Meshi.
Uh-huh.
God, it's so uncultured, JD. It's like you're working a job where you don't
you're speaking moon language to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oy vey.
Was it a new anime that come out and you're just all over it?
Mm-hmm.
Dungeon Meshi?
It stars our boy Jimmy Dango.
It stars Jimmy Dango with the classic Aaron Hansen protagonist voice for any anime ever.
No, actually, it's a bit deeper voiced.
It's a deeper voice, dude? That surprises me.
You get what I mean? Well, no, he's forcing a deeper voice because he's a voice actor. But JD, when I say it stars Jimmy Dango, who am I referring to?
You referring to the D&D character Jimmy Dango, or popular character actor Jimmy Dango? Or are you referring to me, but just in a different way because I'm Jimmy Dango technically?
Or am I referring to myself because I'm whitewashed Jimmy Dango?
Or are you referring to yourself because you're big? Because you kind of look like Jimmy Dango in a parallel universe.
No, I'm referring to ProZD.
Okay. You're referring to Jimmy Dango, the dude who looks like Jimmy Dango, but is not really Jimmy Dango.
No, but if we were ever to make Unlucky Ones, we'd want him to be Jimmy Dango.
ProZD voices the main dude in Dungeon Meshi?
Well, there's 4 main people, and he's one of the 4.
Oh, so he voices one of the main
Yeah.
4? Wow.
Yeah.
Is it like just a normal guy, or is it...
No, he's a little guy who talks like this, and he has a big mustache beard that covers his whole body because he's a halfling, and he wears armor, and he cooks monsters in the dungeon.
He cooks what? Is it a cooking anime? It's a cooking.
It is.
It's about food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, you'd watch something like that, James.
Yeah, I'm fat. I see, JD, I sent you pictures of these characters, by the way, when I was like, here's who we should cosplay.
Was it? How long ago was that?
I'm still scrolling.
It was a while ago. I remember you sending me something.
Literally 1 whole month ago.
1 whole month ago?
5:02.
That's good to know.
It is 6:02 currently.
Oh, I just scrolled right past up that picture of Superman that you sent me with the background in it.
Oh, Between Towers.
Yeah. Jay, I was not expecting that, Jay. They came out of nowhere, actually. Literally came out of nowhere. You know what the message previous to that one was? It was you saying, gonna have to work on my evening tan though. And then boom. 4 days later. Nothing happened in the Discord for 4 days. And then all of a sudden, hey, did you see this new picture of Superman? You show a picture of the new Superman character actor, and in the background is just the Twin Towers actively being exploded, by the way.
I've been laughing this whole time.
And there's the Dungeon Mesh. He's right above it. Oh, so ProZD's character is the one with the big beard. Yep.
And the other one's dude with
the horns.
Evangelion man. Mm-hmm. And the other one's Evangelion boy.
Now that looks more like a halfling. His ears are huge.
No, he's 29.
That's supposed to be just a dude, or is it a...
It's a dude. It's a little man, as they call him in the show.
It's a little man?
Mm-hmm.
Does he go into the dungeon and eat and cook up like dungeon monsters as food?
Well, no, he's like, ew, you guys want to do that? Why can't we just get normal food? Oh my god, it's good. And ProZD's character is like, yeah, I know it's good.
Yeah, I know it's good.
Yeah, I know, I cooked it.
Yeah, I cooked it myself. Here, look, have a bite. And
then Damien Haas from Smosh is like, guys, the monsters, eat them.
Damien Haas? Is he in this?
Yeah, he's the main character.
Is he the little man?
No, he's the blonde night boy.
Blonde night boy?
When I see everybody make
what are the 4 main characters?
Blonde night boy, blonde elf girl, little man, big ear, ProZD.
And ProZD.
And ProZD if he could grow a beard.
Huh. That's an interesting cast. And all they do is they go dungeon diving and cook up monsters as food?
Well, they're on a quest.
To hunt down the demon lord or something?
Yes, but also to get back the main guy's sister who was swallowed by a dragon. This isn't spoilers, it's literally the first 5 seconds.
Okay. Oh, and you just sent me a picture of the main guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's Damien Haas?
That's Damien Haas.
What is that gif? Is him getting rid of the shakes or something? Getting ready to
do something. I'm going to be honest. It's probably the most autistic thing he does in the show.
Does he do that often?
No, he does it once. But it's like genuinely like, I was like, oh yeah, no, 100% this character is autistic.
Okay.
Like, it was alluded to, but I was like, yeah, confirmation.
Sure. Because I doubt you in a lot of things, James. Because you seem to see a lot of connections where there just aren't any. And unless they just flat out say it, then...
JD, you would watch this show and tell me his sister and the elf girl are not lesbians, and I'd look you dead in the eyes and tell you, how could you fucking not think that?
Well, first of all, I'm probably not going to watch the show. Second of all, yeah, probably. Like hypothetically,
Nice.
if I did that.
If you did that, hypothetically, you'd say
Mhm.
they aren't. Happy Pride Month.
What was that?
Happy Pride Month.
Um,
It's okay, JD.
no.
You can
You
be
see,
open.
I'm like a big company when it comes to Pride Month. You know, I'm like during Pride Month, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, happy Pride Month. And then the second Pride Month ends, I immediately go and shoot my nearest friend who celebrates Happy Pride Month. And that'd be, in this case, that'd be you, James. You.
I'm looking at the gift now.
Well, the gif of Mip pointing with the big finger. You.
It was you, Charlie.
It was you.
Because you, freak James. You.
Yeah. I know you keep mentioning it, but you never gave the context behind it.
So
Someone replied to your comment and said, "I'm going to touch you."
So I've been working on my art on live streaming,
Sure.
literally every night.
Sure.
And I finally finished, and I was like, oh, thank God. So I uploaded earlier today, and I've gotten like several comments of people asking me things related to it because like some people didn't get it right away and whatnot. And this person was like, regular period, show reference,
Mm-hmm.
and I
And
was
you
a
were
bit
like, yeah, of
confused.
course it is. See, look, that's Pops. And then
No,
that's you.
I didn't think they were saying regular show because they put regular period and then they went like return and went down a layer and then wrote show reference.
Okay.
So I thought they were calling it regular and then asking me to show a reference. So I said, "What do you mean?" Then they more elaborated, said, "Duck robot. Is this inspired?"
Yeah. I mean, James, I know you like to make fun of people whose English is not their first language, but
No,
sometimes
this is
things just come
100% their
across
first language,
weird.
JD.
You know.
No, JD, this is 100% their first language
How do you know about that, James?
because every comment that followed.
It was in perfect, flawless English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of just oddities, and I was like, oh no, I see now. I see what you're saying. No, it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mhm.
Like that's what it is. It's not a regular show. And then their immediate response to that was, "I'm going to touch you."
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't get it because you don't watch the show, but that's a regular show reference.
I did watch
It's
the show,
when
JD.
Mordecai and Rigby are like, "Hey Benson, what are you doing? What are you doing here so late at night?" And then Benson says to the
Then
duo,
Benchen, then
"I'm going
Benchen.
to touch you." That's what he says. Yeah.
When Morgby and Rib say to Benchen, "What are you doing
When
here?"
Mordecai and Rigby are sitting on the couch and they're like, "Hey, man, Benson's gonna be really mad at
You
this,"
keep
and then
saying
Benson's like,
Benchen.
and then Benchians is like, "Let me break it
He's a
down for
fucking
you."
Honkai Star Rail character.
He says,
Benchen.
let me break it down for you," and then he starts dancing on them.
Um, so I then replied, "Bro, what?" Because I was just like, I waited a whole hour before replying. By the way,
Okay, you
because I
had to
just
soak
was,
it in for an hour.
yeah, I was like trying to debate, like,
Like
should I just not
you
say
saw it
anything?
right when it came up. Like refresh the page. It said
No,
2
because it was
seconds have
immediate.
passed by.
It was an immediate
Looked stared
response.
at it for about 20 minutes. You stood up and paced around for another 20 minutes, and sat down slowly typing letter by letter for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And you said, "Bro, what?"
and then he replied, a smiling emoji,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. I've been debating on if I should block him or not, because I do feel very uncomfortable by this statement.
Oh, yeah, James. But what if I
Yeah,
told
JD.
you that wasn't just any old random person, James?
Yeah,
What if I told you that
it was
was
you, JD.
me? And I do the finger thing, but it's pointing at myself.
You still stretch your arm outwards, but you point back at yourself.
Uh, I mean, hey, that's what the block button's for, James. I mean, if you're so sensitive that some stranger on the internet like says, "I'm going to touch you," I mean, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man, how
That's what
dare
it's for.
I?
It was made for the block button was made for people like you.
No, Jay, you're right. I'm the asshole.
Yeah, Jay. I'm glad you finally figured it out. And yes, you are the asshole for not being here at 7 o'clock this morning, not
Oh
being here
boy,
7 o'clock
here we go.
yesterday. I woke up early just for that. I'll have you know. I only got 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, I'm so.
I could have gotten 10.
You know what's crazy is this morning I was awake earlier than 7, and I was
Yeah.
checking Discord because I was like, man, I wonder when JD's gonna be up because I kept checking and it wasn't telling me, like it wasn't
You
showing
kept
me like
checking
he made any
except
new
between the
messages.
time of 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, the time that we
I was
agreed on.
here. Yeah, I was here. I was awake. And like when I at 7:07, it was at like 7:57, I was like sitting there that whole like hour, that all 50 minutes just waiting, and I'm like, man, I guess JD just decided not to do it. I guess we'll do it at 10 tonight. And then all of a sudden around the 7:50 mark, I'm like I set my phone down for a minute. I get up and I come back and I open it again, and now all of a sudden there's like all these messages from you, and I'm like, what the
Hmm.
hell? I've been sitting here waiting.
Yeah, that's strange.
It is.
Just a little bit weird.
It is. You know, it's
I mean,
it has weird when those shadow demons appeared to drag me off into the distance because I missed 7 a.m. the previous day.
that was wild actually. That conversation we had the previous day, you thought was 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. To me, that shocked me for a second because I was like, I know James pretty much never keeps his promises, and like whenever we agree upon any time, it never works out. And we've only luckily spontaneously managed to get these sessions in. So the conversation went like, let me explain to the audience. The conversation went like this. So I already told James I have like no time basically to do the crapshoot. I told him, we can do it in like early. Okay, so first off, we were like, let's do this sometime agreed upon time. And then James said to me, any chance we can do this early tomorrow? I'm just going to read the messages exactly as they were written. You said to me, any chance we can do this early tomorrow, like the previous night. And then I said, I just got back. I've got work tomorrow at 9. So maybe we can do it at 7-ish. It's going to be a short episode though. And then you said, I'm good with that. Obviously, I thought we were talking about in the morning. Because first off, if you took what I said in context, who the hell starts their work at 9 p.m.? Second of all,
I've worked shift at 9 p.m. JD went.
You have a work shift at 9 p.m.?
Sometimes I have, yeah.
What is that work shift? You start 9 and then end like 5 in the morning or something?
Yeah.
Okay. But take into context what you said before. You said, can we do this early tomorrow? I didn't say no. I said, okay. I've got work tomorrow at 9. So we can do it at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So James thought I meant 7 p.m. So then he wasn't there in the morning. And it was only later in that day that he explained to me what he thought I meant.
Literally at 7 a.m. that day, I was outside of my backyard fucking like cutting down trees, not even thinking to check on my Discord or on anything. I was just like, cool, I guess.
You just never check on your Discord, James, unless it's late, unless you're on your stream or late at night.
Except when I did, and when I was, and when it didn't load.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what you sound like. You.
Anyway, though. That second job didn't turn out to be as amazing as I thought it would be.
What is the second job?
It is also a dealer job. Mm-hmm. It's just a dealer at a different place. You remember I was talking about becoming a dealer at one of the big 3?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about My Hero Academia.
Oh,
it was it's bad. It's not a great job.
Really?
Well, first of all, it has like all the appearances of an amazing job. Like the back employee area is like super, there's a lot of money put into that area. It's like super pristine, clean, well thought out. But the pay is terrible compared to the other job, at least. Pay is bad compared to the other job. And also, since being a dealer is kind of like it's a customer service job, or you have to deal with people. the people that you have to deal with at that location are not very nice. They're not very nice.
I can imagine.
So yeah, you have to deal with that, and also the pay is less than the other job I had, of which I was expecting that one to be the one where everyone's like really mean, and this one to be the one where everyone's nice, but it was actually flip flopped. So yeah, yeah, and also the first job apparently is way easier than the second one, because the first one is a tournament and the second one is a cash related. You don't need to know what that means. It's just more difficult.
I've played WWE. I get how Money in the Bank works.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. I mean, the second job, just to give some context, it's not like a terrible pay. In fact, it's pretty good. So far, my average hourly wage is probably somewhere around, say, like slightly less than 30.
Yeah.
Like 29 an hour ish.
Yeah.
But that's just because I lucked out. I lucked out pretty hard in terms of like tips. I've heard a lot of William works there, by the way, too. He's worked there, and his pay is probably closer to like 18 an hour, maybe. I think less than that, like 17 an hour. And with the stuff that you have to deal with, like every single table, every single like dude there is just constantly like being super rude to you and like complaining all the time about you. I don't think you could handle it, James. I don't know if you'd be able to hold in your rage long enough to not just annihilate all these people at the table.
I'm sure it wouldn't.
Yeah, and they're totally they're fine. Well, I mean, they're right now. It's I think there's an event happening right now, and it must attract a lot of foreigners. So everybody at the workplace, like all of my fellow dealers, they're complaining about Europeans. They're complaining about Europeans in specific. You know why, James?
Why?
It's because they don't tip. Europeans do not tip.
Right.
They don't have a tipping culture.
About that.
Of course, I'm more on the side of I'd rather not tip and just have the company pay out a higher base wage. But I get their feelings that they come over here and they don't tip, and that's why you don't make as much. So, luck of the draw, really. You gamble in the workplace as well. And also Europeans they're significantly ruder than the average goer, I guess. At least the ones that are there.
So you're saying is that I should come to your workplace, use a fake European accent, and specifically talk about how there was a dealer that kept telling me I shouldn't be tipping everybody else named JD.
Yeah, you could do that. You can
see you tomorrow at 7 or 9.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it was a super hilarious situation the very first day. Let me tell you about my very first day ever dealing, right? So I get to the workplace, and then they just randomly assign you a table. And tables are where you go to deal and make the cash and stuff. And you know what my first table was?
What?
It was a place called the Salon. And the Salon is where super high stakes table is. Like a super high stakes table.
They gave you that on your first day?
That was my first ever table, ever dealing at any job ever. That was my first table. So I go in there, right? I've got no idea what I'm doing because it's my first day, and they also don't really tell you how to run it. Like you have to run the table yourself, at least like do a couple of days before you get like remember all the things about how to deal. So I get to this table. I look at these people. They're like 7 people at this table, and they've got stacks of chips in front of them, and they're probably it's like maybe 200K a person in chips in front of them, and they're betting like 100K plus a hand, like 50K plus a hand. So, trying not to mess up while this is happening, while you don't know what you're doing, was pretty not great. Surprisingly, they weren't the most rude group to me that day. Even though had the most stakes in it, they were pretty chill about it. And there was some times where like they would look at me in the face and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And then I have to look at them and I'd be like, "I have no idea. I'm sorry, sir."
And they'd be like, "What is this? Your first day?" And you'd go,
They'd be like, "What?" They'd be like, "You a first time here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense then."
They'd be like, "Oh, well then we're gonna actually take money from you into your pockets."
Well,
That's how
no,
games are played.
because in the salon there's also a supervisor there, so he also kind of looks at everything.
Supervisor will be
Basically,
like,
the only
JD,
thing I'm
give them
there,
their money.
the only thing I'm there to do is deal, and anything else, I don't really, not really care about. By the way, I should say the minimum wage for this job, or the wage for this job is pretty close to, I should say it's $11.50 an hour. That's the base. That's the base wage, and then anything more you make in tips increases that. You know,
That's literally, I think, double under the unlivable.
$11.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, 25 is barely like the livable wage. Like what people should be earning as minimum is 25 from places as just the bare minimum.
Yeah, so it's $11.50 an hour. Right now, my current hourly rate is about 30, just because from the tips I made. But that's the base wage. So I'm getting paid literally like minimum wage just to deal at this super high stakes table. So obviously, in my mind, I don't really care that much because it's such a low base wage, and you're not guaranteed tips that it's hard to put your heart and soul into it. I feel like they can feel it. But anyway, that was my first table. I messed up a lot. Nothing horrendous like that would get me fired or anything. But obviously they could tell I was a new dealer and stuff. It was all right because they tipped me $50 anyway, so I got $50 on the table. By the way, they're real stingy about tips, especially the high limit ones. The high limit tables like never tip you. I worked at a couple high limit tables already, and you'd push someone like a $400,000 pot that they just won, and they wouldn't tip you at all. So anyway,
yeah, because they earn that money, not
you.
you.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You worm.
Me, I get the $11.50 an hour, and they get the $400K.
You get
pot
those,
tip. Pot.
You get those goosebumps in your mind.
It wasn't me that did that, by the way. I never pushed that big of a pot. It was one of my other people that I know that also dealt there, and he was complaining to me about it.
William.
Anyway, though, the lower limit tables were a bit more chill. And they had the widest variation of kinds of people. After that super high stakes table that I dealt at my first table, I went to the second table. In my second table, guess who was sitting there?
Who?
It was William. William was sitting there. So I go to tap him out, and he says to me, "I just sat down at this table," and I'm like, "Okay." And so how it works is that it's called a push, and every 30 minutes you're supposed to push to a new table, your next table that you're assigned to, in order to kind of just get dealers on a rotation so they can, keep things fresh, I guess, make some tips at different kinds of tables. And so I'm pushing William, and he says, "I just sat down," and I go talk to the floor supervisor, and he says, "Nah, get him out of there. That's your table. That's your table." Finger points at me, and I'm like, I rub my hands deviously, and I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah." So I go up to William, and I'm like, "Get the fuck out, dude. It's my table." Sorry, kid.
You like
ain't
GTA
got no table.
Hijack his table.
Yeah, he does a surprise Pikachu face at me as I slap him across the face and pull him out of the chair. So I sit down at this table. And what happened was that was William's first table, right?
Oh.
He also didn't know what he was doing. And one of the dudes was really pissed at him because he misdealed once. And it's when you mess something up and you have to like redo the whole like hand. And so it just takes a little bit longer than I would normally do. So the dude's like super angry. He's like, "Oh my god, they got all this guy sucks," and he stands up and he's like, I can't deal with this table. This place is awful. What's happening?" And I sit down, and you guess what I do? I misdeal too. because I've got no idea what I'm doing, right? So what happens is every table that we go to is like completely different. There are variations of games, right? So there's different kinds of games that are all classified underneath poker. And I sit down at this table thinking it's a different kind of, it's the other game that I just was dealing at, but it was a completely different one. So I misdeal too. So that this guy, he's like, "Yeah, that's it. I can't take it anymore." And he gets up and he storms off somewhere. And he storms off somewhere and he's like all pissed. He's like screaming and stuff. He's like, "Oh my god, all these feelings missed you. I can't handle this." And then everyone else at the table were laughing at him too because number one, when you misdeal, it's not like a horrible thing. It takes like an extra 30 seconds to get to the next hand. So I think the guy was overreacting. But anyway, it was just really funny that like William missteals it, and then I sit there, I push him out, and I do the exact same thing he did. So anyway, yeah, that was the only time I misstealed it. The rest of the hands went pretty smoothly. Yeah, and also unlucky for William, that first game that I was in, the dude's sitting to the very left of me was like an experienced dealer himself. He was like probably a dealer at another place. I'm not sure, but he was like telling me everything I was doing wrong and like teaching me how to like everything, all the little like rules and stuff about this like dealing these games. So he helped me a ton for everything. And I was just thinking in the back of my mind, if I pushed William out of this seat and he would have been the one getting taught all these lessons and stuff.
He would have become so a better dealer, and you took that from him.
Yeah, so I did everything correct there. Anyway, that was just a funny thing that happened. At the end of the day, I don't really care that much about. I can handle. Apparently, I can handle.
No, you care.
I was pretty good about handling, like getting flamed and stuff. Because usually, I'm a gamer. I get flamed in online games all the time. But I thought in real life I would be different. It would be different. Where like if someone's in person, like saying like flaming you to your face, that you would feel like way worse than you actually do. But maybe I'm just like, maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know.
Yeah, you lack.
But I literally just blank. Emotions. I blank stare at any dudes who does that, who flames me, and I just say, "You're right, sir," and I just go right back to dealing.
Oh, you like eating shit.
Yeah, they'll do a bunch of condescending stuff. They'll be like, you'll like be a little bit slow on something. They're like, "Where are my cards? Where are my cards at? Where are my cards, dealer?" And then I just won't say anything. I'll just like I stare at like the table whenever I'm dealing.
Say it like that.
That's what they say. Yeah, if you're a little slow, they'll be like, "Where are my cards at?" And then, or if you like mess something up, like flip up a card or something, misdeal, they'll look at you and be like, "You serious? Are you serious right now, dude?
You just do this to me, bro?
Are you serious?" And then I'll just have to be like, "No, sir, I'm very serious." And then just keep on going.
Deadly.
Yeah, or they'll be more direct and be like, "What's wrong with you?" or whatever, stuff like that. But honestly, it doesn't affect me at all. The only thing that affects me is in my head, I'm thinking this is getting paid way less than having to deal with all this shit. So
in your mind,
it's even worse for William. He doesn't make as much as I do.
How much is
William? The other job was pretty good though. The other job is slightly better, but it's paid. If you're dealing the main game that they do there, you get paid, I think, what was it, 40? You get paid 42 an hour. 42 an hour if you're doing the main game, and you get paid 52 an hour if you're doing mixed games. So that's not too bad. It's pretty good. So that's my main job, and then. Yeah, I don't have to deal with the players at the main job are really nice. So Anyway, James, that's my life situation update. Got anything else to talk about, or just want to wrap it up here because it's getting late for you?
Oh yeah, I remember now. Uh, so despite Rooster Teeth being shut down, they're planning to add Ruby Rose from the show Ruby to Multiverses.
Well, I mean, we got to start playing that once that comes out.
You know we do.
We have to double up on Ruby Rose. 2 Ruby Rose versus 2 Ruby Roses.
This guy bothering you?
2 Ruby Roses versus 2 Supermen. Who wins?
I can't wait to get death threats in my DMs again.
You got, huh?
Remember last time we played, I was getting threatened by that dude.
From one of the dudes we beat in Superverses.
Yeah, because we both played Superman and we kept flying them off the map.
Yeah, I don't know if they fixed that, but Superman had a crazy. They had this one move that Superman does where he starts flying, and if he touches you while he's flying, he grabs you and then chucks you in the direction that he's flying toward. So what you do is you just fly, you grab them, and then you move them, you fly to the edge of the map, and you would insta kill them.
And we just kept going.
And that's the only move that we did. We only spammed that one move. I didn't think we threw like a single punch. You just and every single time we did that, we go da 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 da.
I remember, yeah.
And then as we grab them, we'd be like, "Is this guy bothering you?" Yeah, she must have been pretty pissed about that.
Oh man,
it's not my fault. They blame the game devs for adding that move in.
Perfect game. But would you like to know how it was revealed that Ruby Rose was going to be into the game?
How?
Data miners found a pack of Pickle Rick voice lines where he talks to Ruby Rose.
What? Is this Pickle Rick voiced by Justin Roiland, or is it?
No, voiced by the new guy.
Okay, it's voiced by the new guy. I was about to say Justin Roiland has a line where he says, "Ruby Rose, my nemesis."
I don't know if it would be his nemesis. He's pretty up the alley of underage girls.
What are the new characters in Multiverses? Do they have new ones?
Joker, some Adventure Time characters.
Added more Adventure Time characters?
Rain Dog.
Rain Dog was an old one. That was in the beta.
I mean, Rain Dog's a new character because they still
fucking made a game with him yet. What the heck? Joker, Jason.
Yeah. They own Jason? Yeah, I forgot Jason's in it, and he's like all weird.
They own Jason?
Yeah, they own the rights.
They own the rights to Jason. Banana Guard, I'm guessing that's from Adventure Time?
Mm-hmm.
Marvin, the Martian.
That's
was Gizmo already in there? No, I think that might be a new one.
No, Gizmo's new.
Yeah, Gizmo.
Rigby's new.
Black Adam. Wait a minute, that's not Black Adam. That's not The Rock. That's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Also, Black Adam isn't new. Black Adam was in the
Was he in the beta?
He was. He was like.
I do not remember ever seeing him.
They put him in it for promotional stuff with the movie.
Oh.
And had Dwayne Johnson do the voice.
I do not remember Black Adam being in it, but I guess if you say he is, then he might be.
Okay, I think I'm looking at a fake list because Walter White's on this.
I'm on their website. They have a website. On their website, they have a tab called Roster. And that's what they have written there right now.
Okay, good.
Stripe. I don't recognize Stripe. I don't think he was in the beta. I don't think Rick was in the beta. Was Morty in the beta?
Yeah.
I think Morty was in the beta.
He was added near the end.
It was Rick that wasn't in the beta.
Yeah.
Braun was in the beta. Iron Giant was in the beta. Taz, I think, was also in the beta. Velma was in the beta. Arya Stark in the beta.
Was in the beta.
Batman, Bugs Bunny, Finn the Human, all in the beta. Uh-huh. Garnet? Was Garnet in the beta?
Garnet was in it, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was only one Steven Universe character.
It was Steven. Steven, wasn't it?
I don't think Garnet was in there. Harley Quinn was in there.
I don't think
Jake.
Jake. No,
No,
Jake was.
Jake was in there.
Yeah, I
Rain
remember.
Dog. I don't know what that. I still don't know what that thing is.
A
It was in there.
classic Warner Brothers
Shaggy,
character, fucking Rain Dog.
Shaggy, Steven Universe, Superman, Tom and Jerry,
This guy
Wonder Woman.
bothering you.
Oh, they added less than I thought they would.
JD, I think you mean Shaggy, Steven Universe, This Guy Bothering You, Tom and Jerry.
I think you mean Shaggy, Steven Universe, Tom and Jerry. One.
Hell no.
I hope they kept his Superman's move.
I hope.
Yeah, it says it right there. I think it says in special moves. Meteor liftoff is what they call it. I think that's what it is. It's like they have a little clip right here. What it is?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Pickle Rick is leaking Multiversus characters. So yeah, people are.
Holy crap! There's a variant.
Through Pickle Rick.
There's a variant of Superman called Black Lantern Superman, and it's just.
Yeah, him as a zombie.
Looks sick. It's him as a zombie.
Yeah.
And then there's Pride Month Superman.
No. I'll say this: I'm a bit disappointed by the Halo Infinite Pride Month skin that they came out with.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was expecting it to be something else. Like, it's not bad. It did stuff I wasn't expecting, which is cool. But then it's also like, kind of wish it did something more.
Okay, James, you entitled person. You just want You just want and all the time, man. It's just, what is Uber? Oh, Uber Jason. Holy crap.
Oh,
Uber
yeah,
Jason looks like a Terminator.
Yeah, that's Jason X.
That's not Jason X. That's the I'll be back.
No, it's Jason from Jason X, where he's given the nano machine son, makes him into a cyborg. That's not a joke. That's what happens in the movie.
Nano machine son.
I'll add it to the list for us to watch.
Black. Oh my god, they had Dwayne The Rock Johnson in there. Holy crap.
I think you mean Black Adam.
They called the variant the Man in Black.
Oh god.
Man in Black. Oh, they have comic classic Black Adam. Comic classic Black Adam had a karate belt?
Not a belt, it was more like a sash.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a belt. It's got like the two little like flappy ties that are left over from it. Anyway. And he didn't have a cape. Black Adam didn't have a cape?
No, he just used to be without a cape.
Well, I mean, Dwayne The Rock Johnson doesn't have a cape, so I guess you're right.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a cape, kinda.
Well, not in the variant. The Man in Black doesn't have a cape. Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Who's that? I don't know who that is.
No, you know who that is.
Oh, so Pickle Rick is just a variant of Rick?
He's the Man in Black.
No, Pickle Rick is not a variant of Rick. Is it just his own character?
Is it? That's stupid. I'm gonna be honest.
Is that supposed to be like a new one of the lead characters? Is Pickle Rick?
No, Pickle Rick was one of the people that they were advertising, but data miners found out a bunch of the leaked characters of who's going to be coming because of him.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, that's how people found out about Ruby's, because he's like, you got a little magical scythe in your shit called Dust?
Dust? Morty has
like
President Morty and Evil Morty.
What's the difference?
Aren't they both evil? Is that what that is?
Well, no, that's literally the same.
Holy crap, LeBron has 3 variants.
What?
LeBron has Sheriff LeBron. They've got I'm freaking Robin. And then
I forgot.
Amazon Defense. Amazon Defense? Is that how you pronounce it? It's him in like a Wakanda suit?
No,
is that
it's not a Wakanda suit.
Not a Wakanda armor?
No, Jay, that's just racism.
It's not racist. It's a reference to the movie, man.
No, because it's not.
I don't know. I don't remember what it looked like.
It's from Space Jam. He's not in Black Panther.
He wears that in Space Jam?
Yeah.
I never watched Space Jam.
I know. That's why I'm letting you know, so you stop saying it. Try and cancel you before you cancel yourself.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
JD,
I don't think
they're
it's like
already
that.
at your door. Turn on the channel.
I think
Doesn't
the
matter
only
what-
person who takes that as seriously as you do is you.
Dude, turn on the TV. It doesn't matter what channel.
Did you see what they had on the news?
No.
Ooh, Samurai Batman. It's pretty cool, actually. Is that
Whatever.
racism too if I says that looks like a samurai?
No, because he's a white man.
This one. Well, guess that's it then for now.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys enjoyed, you should like, subscribe.
If you guys enjoyed, big pause.
And, you can find James in the descriptions below. And yeah, that's it from me. James, bring us out.
So my nose is like super stuffed and I'm really sick. I shouldn't be